Guys, we're going to treat this as professionally as possible. This is for DreamHack after all. It is our first matchup of the day. Unfortunately, I don't know the greater context of scoring the brackets, so we're just going to treat these best of threes like exactly what they are. Best of threes. Spawning here to the lower right-hand side of the map. He does come from Storm Gaming. I'm going to add a little bit of echo because I want to introduce the Red Zerg player, Silky. Well, pool first. Low drone count. No good. Top left side of the map, it is the American hero from Ting, the one and only Neeb. Now, I don't even need to go into it. If you've watched Base Trade TV, you've watched both of these players. We've worked so often and so long with Ting as well as Neeb. Silky has been playing in a lot of stuff more recently, so just a little caster bias here. I'm going to be rooting for Silky a bit just because he's playing in more of our stuff. But regardless, Neeb's going to be a tough opponent, and Silky's up to some special tactics, which I'm a big fan of. So this drone goes across the map, and it's going to be a little annoying. This one kind of fakes trying to take a natural, fakes the probe, and then like putting the pylon down, no big deal. But while this attack comes with early lings, the premise is to get over here and kill this pylon, or at least I believe that's the goal of Silky more than anything else. We may even see a proxy hatchery go down to keep the wall open, which is a brilliant move if he can pull it off, but the probe's already here. So even though he can't block the wall from getting fully realized, he can build this hatchery, which is still a threat. It's a little bit late in the game for Neeb to want to pull 7 probes, but it might be a good move. As the Zealot comes out, it's going to have to pick and choose between guarding the wall or dealing with the hatchery. These are lings that do not have speed, but this is an attack that I have actually seen work not just versus Neeb, but many other good players like Stats among some. This variation is very unique though. Usually we see the hatchery as part of the wall, but regardless, it's still going to be a big threat. Any units that get produced on this side are just as deadly as these Zerglings breaking through. So the Zealot kind of slices, the Zealot kind of dices. It's not a lot of opportunity for it, because if he walks too far away from the wall, this happens. Big surround with the Zerglings. He'll lose a couple Zerglings. Maybe gonna micro them if you want to be super tryhard, but either way, the gateway's about to break open. We have a shield battery that's started up. This is going to be huge for the defense, but a hatchery will finish, and I don't know how big of a problem this will be. There's the issue, of course, more production coming out of Neeb, and he's walling back very efficiently, I gotta say. But once this is done, the queen starts up. Zerglings are immediately on the front line. They don't have to run across the map. The shield battery's exposed. Building's getting canceled. The depth's barely getting out of here. The probe soaking up some of the shield battery energy, but the shield battery itself gonna go down soon. Neeb's got 1 unit in a dream, and it's that in depth. And if she's about to maybe go down, things could get really bad. It's not that many Zerglings, and they haven't broken through to the main base because they don't need to. This isn't about probe kills. This is about domination. And if Silky controls all of these pylons, then that's it for Neeb. Probes are getting pulled now because things are getting desperate. A stalker's spawning soon, but even with these additional shield batteries, it doesn't guarantee a defense. Remember, with this creep too, it's going to block buildings from being built. Oh, the shield battery is doing what it can to keep his probes alive. Unfortunately, a lot of the energy used there means it's not available for the stalker, but the second shield battery finishes up. I'm talking a mile a minute because I can't believe how close this is. The queen getting in on the action too is going to be a little bit of range damage that was missing from the equation. If a second stalker spawns, this gets vastly better for Neeb, but keep in mind that as soon as these are out of energy, he's maybe out of life. The queen's doing what it can to shoot away at this. There's no extra shield batteries, but there's going to be more production. A second stalker, a third stalker, all spawning here very soon. Zergling's going to be hatching out of this hatchery too. Stalker 1 goes down. Stalker 2, Stalker 3 out back into kiting. I don't know that there's a priority to swap over, but if he does kill these pylons, then there will be no more production. So Silky making a hard choice to choose to ignore the stalkers. Let the queens fire away at those while he chips away at these pylons. This won't even depower anything yet. Pylon up on the high ground. It's a brilliant move out of Neeb though. Silky's not going to be able to reach around and grab this, and this should keep at least the shield batteries powered, if nothing else. Still though, 2 queens and this little bit of extra range is going a long while. As you can see here, the stalkers don't exactly get a lot of damage into queens. Silky gonna back up. Those one gets a bit low. Control's gonna be everything. Losing this queen can be devastating for this fight. The shield battery breaks. 2 gateways unpowered. Oh, with the adept almost spawning 2. Silky loses one of his queens. Neeb holding on with 2 stalkers. 2 stalkers at a dream at this point. Almost nothing left to produce from at this stage of the game. And even if those shield batteries finish up, I don't know that they can contribute much. I think Silky may have pulled off this cheese. It's not over till it's over, of course, but this is looking less and less viable for Neeb. These stalkers are seriously 1 shot from dead. The queen, she challenges the probes with no issue whatsoever. 1 more stalker spawns soon. No, the pylon will die first. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think our first game is over at this point. The queen just fires into the stalker. It'll die. A little awkward, but yeah, that's it. GG's get called. Silky takes game number 1. All right, well, we're back to it. It's still the DreamHack Masters group stage, and spawning here to the bottom left side of the map, he's actually managed to start this series 1-0. We do have the blue Zerg Silky. And to the top right, we have the red Protoss Neeb. Now, I just realized having my chat on display for stream doesn't make a lot of sense off of a 2-minute delay. So what's funny is you are seeing the reactions to the previous game. A lot of people saying, dirty cheese! Cheesy! But here's the thing. Let's be serious for a second. Neeb is a highly regarded player. He's highly respected, and more to the point, he's very good at StarCraft 2. I think you need to have a little bit of cheese in your builds if you want to beat Neeb. I'm not going to say Silky would win 3 games out of 3 cheesing Neeb every game, but I think mixing one in for the start's very powerful. I know Neeb is not a guy, though, who falls prey to mind games, and I don't think he's going to let that defeat bother him in the slightest, but I do know other Protoss players who would totally be reeling off of that defeat and playing a lot more defensive in game 2 as a result. But big scouts were had by Neeb this time. You do see him block out the Nexus over here. He scouts the main. He saw no spawning pool. He did see a gas. He's not seen the hatchery, but I'm sure he's got to know this is here, and he'll have to wait to go see it in a moment. Back at home, of course, he's got his own Nexus and no real shenanigans happening. Neeb is totally a guy who you could expect to put a proxy pylon down in a series, but I would much more expect Neeb to do like an adept resonating glaive build or something instead. I think what's great is, though, he does have a lot of variety in his playstyle, and he's very, very good at reacting to situations. I mean, he didn't win game 1, but look at the way he reacted to that once he realized what was going on. So I have faith in Neeb to bring this back and make this a tied up series, but at the same time, this would be an absolute win, like big for Silky if he were to take a 2-0 off of Neeb. Also happy to report you guys won the battle. Sorry, I'm just dishing out the rewards right now while the game gets underway. Still, the probe continues to scout around, and at this point, he has confirmed the existence of a third base. He's playing Stargate behind this, which is not a bad move. I always talk about this being a pretty safe opening, but for Neeb, I know that he can pull off some really cool things with oracles. My favorite thing, actually, for a good oracle player is not getting 4 or 5 drone kills. It's the stasis ward that grabs like 12 drones, incapacitating them. I don't know which we'll see here out of Neeb, but I know which one I like to see. Either way, a Phoenix also wouldn't be too bad for the opener, just to get rid of Overlords if nothing else. But Silky is cutting drones. He has no natural base. Neeb's going to confirm this with this Adept coming over here and seeing only 3 drones and what should be probably 5 or 8. Knock, knock. This is a little scary. The Adept should be able to transfer behind the wall before it gets killed. Oh no, it's barely not by like 1 auto attack. Oh, this is huge. This is actually devastating. Neeb could actually lose the game off of this. What's funny is this actually reminds me a lot of Sharpshooter versus Parting, but that's another game for another time. If you know, you know. But with this wall holding strong for now, there's no units behind it. There's like, okay, an Adept over here. We've got a Stargate pumping out that Oracle. That Oracle needs to get here ASAP. This is a really creative way. I've never seen anyone handle this, by the way. Neeb evacuates the natural base, saying, screw it. You know what? I can't hold this. Anything on the low ground is going to die. The floor is lava. So instead, he opts to wall off the high ground. This won't hold forever, but it will hold long enough for the Oracle to come out, which otherwise would not have been the case. And this is what I'm talking about, Neeb, with his reaction skills. Still, though, as you can see, buildings are falling down. Cyber cores are very valuable. Gateways are empowered. He has to layer in this wall a little bit thicker, too. And all this money he's spending on extra infrastructure, the Oracle's run out of juice, and he's not looking like he's going to hold this. Silky continues to flood links across the map because he knows that if he breaks this wall, it's all over. And a 2-0 victory is within his grasp. Even with another Oracle spawning here very shortly, it doesn't have enough energy to keep this up forever. The first Oracle as well, reeling off of its energy deficit, needs 25 energy just to turn its guns on. The Adept in the Mineral Line is really the only reliable DPS that Neeb has in this situation to try and hold on. He's got to know Silky doesn't have any workers for this. If somehow he can hold on, then he's still in the game based off of worker count alone. So pulling the probes is not a bad idea. Tries to protect these pylons as he gets things back up. The Oracle squeezing out what little energy it can. Kills maybe just enough legs. Nope, there's the reinforcements, and it's all over. Silky takes this series 2-0. Holy crap. Holy crap! Good to see, Silky. Good to see.